Hello, everybody, and welcome back to episode 16 or 17, one of the two. Let's see, quick math. 12 plus 4 is 16, plus 1 is 17. Look at that, episode 17. Not bad. All right, let's get right into things. Last time, what happened? You may be asking yourself. Well, we talked with three of the girls, being Yuri, Sayori, and Malika, on top of the roof while we were having lunch. Yuri fed us some food with her chopsticks, which was pretty darn epic, if you ask me. Anyway, now that that's over, we just woke up, or not woke up, we transitioned onto the bus, the subway, the monorail, if you will, and now, this is where our story begins. The bus rattles a bit as it trundles down the street, the plastic hanging straps swaying gently overhead. Oh, public transportation, you're always there for me. I can always count on a ride from you. I almost said something else, especially when meeting up with a cute purple-haired girl at the bookstore. Ever since I got closer to Yuri, I've really been speeding through books. Having someone to read with definitely helps in making sure I finish the books, but it also hasn't felt like a chore in a while. Suddenly, the bus lets out a high-pitched whine as it eases into a bus stop. Here's where I get off. I'm not too far away from the bookstore now. There it is. And there's Yuri. I wave at her, although she doesn't see me. She's fidgeting with her hair and glancing around, presumably looking for me. After a moment, we make eye contact. She immediately smiles widely and stands up straighter. Hi, Markapi. Hey, Yuri. Did I keep you waiting? Oh, no. I arrived only a moment ago. Thanks for inviting me out, by the way. No problem. I was going to buy something here anyway. So... Well, let's head in then, shall we? Let's. It's subtle, but I smell the scent of lavender and a touch of jasmine oil as she brushes past me. Once inside, the scent blends in nicely with the traces of old paper and ink emanting from the store. Okay. If someone uses the word emanting around me, I'm gonna lose it. I'm just going to go into a sexual rampage, because that word is so sophisticated. Just look at it. Emanting. There's so many vowels in there. Oh gosh. There's a sense of calm that envelops us the moment we step inside, bolstered by the quiet, lulling sounds of flipping pages. Plastic covers gleam from the bookshelves as we pass by, and with each and every step inside, Yuri seems to walk with a little more energy. I haven't been here for a while now. Really? When was the last time you were here? I believe it was roughly a month ago on a Sunday. Why haven't you visited more then? You know, it's been busy. I shouldn't be spending so much money on books, too. She sighs quietly and runs her fingers over the spines of a nearby row of books. I've been trying to read books online instead to save on money, but being able to physically flip through pages feels so much better. It's as if I just need something tangible in my hands. Yeah, I think I can understand that feeling. It's definitely easier to get distracted if I'm reading something online. There are a lot of books I haven't seen before in this aisle. One novel with a particularly ornately designed cover catches my eye. The Awakening. This looks like one of those books considered classical literature. Yuri notices me eyeing it. Oh, are you curious about some of the novels here? I don't know. Maybe that one over there? Why? Have you read a lot of books in this section? She pulls the copy of The Awakening out from the shelf. Kate Chopin? I think it's Chopin. Kate Chopin's The Awakening. I did read this in middle school. To be honest, I don't recall too much about the plot. Hold on, let me refresh my memory with the summary on the back cover. Her eyes quickly flit over the words on the back, and a moment later, Yuri looks up with a smile. Ah, yes, it's all coming back to me. This was quite the enjoyable read from what I remember. So, what's it about? Well, It's considered a milestone of early feminist literature due to its social commentary and in-depth look into the main character's psyche. Yes, I agree. The novel is about a married woman in late 19th century New Orleans who struggles to find a place for herself in the restrictive society she lives in. Honestly speaking, I believe I liked the book so much because I could relate to some of the themes. Oh? Like what? Well, some of the most salient themes are solitude and the impact of social constraints and expectations. She do be using big words though. It's easy to find yourself falling into solitary lifestyle without societal support. In a way, detaching yourself from society can feel empowering in that you can take over yourself away from outside influence. But it can also be quite lonely. I can see how that theme would resonate with Yuri so deeply. She must have been a loner, even in middle school. The societal expectations present in that era's version of the American South all work to repress the main character's true desires and needs, especially since the main character is a married woman who has to struggle with gender roles too. So you can relate some of the expectations in the book's society to our society then. Wait, did Yuri read that, or was I supposed to be saying that? Log. Where's the log? Hello? History. There it is. Okay. Yeah, it seemed out of place for Yuri to say it like that, so my bad. Of course, modern day society isn't as oppressive as the Victorian era society. But still, there will always be social norms that people would be hard pressed to disobey. And at any rate, Japanese society is rather restrictive in comparison to other countries. You've got that right. When I was a kid, I really wanted to move to America because of how freeing it seemed. Country of rock and roll, right? I don't know about that. But it's definitely a more individualistic culture. Anyway, The Awakening is a beautifully written book. I'd recommend it if you were to read a critique of society, although the ending is quite depressing. Oh, was that a spoiler? Haha, no, you're good. If you're gonna recommend the book this passionately, then I guess I've gotta give it a shot. And speaking of giving it a shot, let's take a shot of water. Oh yeah, that's good. That's good stuff. I take the copy of the novel from Yuri and turn it over in my hands. I'll be looking forward to hearing what you think about it. We continue strolling around the bookstore some more, this time looking for a book for Yuri. She pauses at a display and flips through a paperback book with a black cover. What's that book? Battle Royale. I assume you've heard of it before? I play Fortnite every day, every second actually. Yeah, I actually read a bit of it before. I never finished it though. Speaking of rock and roll in America, the main character in it is pretty obsessed with the US. Although I'm guessing that you know that already. Well, I'm embarrassed to admit that I've never got to reading it before. There are just too many books I need to read. How about we read it together then? I'd like that. She smiles shyly, her eyes twinkling between her bangs. And with that, we leave for the front counter to purchase our books. The sun's blindingly bright outside, which contrasts against the chilly nature of the air. Would you like to get something to eat? Sure, there's a bakery nearby that's pretty good. They even serve tea. Last time I went there, I had black tea. I don't know what race has to do with that, Markapi. You should not have said black tea. Oh, that sounds lovely. Feel free to lead the way. Within a few minutes, we're standing in front of the bakery. Through the glass storefront, we can see rows upon rows of pastries and breads. I like when people add S to the end of bread, like breads. Like, that's a lot of bread, instead of, that's a lot of breads. You know what I mean? I don't know, maybe it's just a UK thing, perhaps. As we enter, a wave of warm air carrying the scent of sweets and teas wash over us. It smells wonderful in here. If you weren't hungry before, you'd definitely be hungry now. Plus, they even have oolong tea here. Really? I suppose I know what I'll be getting. I think I'll have a cup as well. As we approach the counter to order our drinks, the brownies on display once again catch my eye. You know what? I think I'll have a brownie too. I grab a tray and a pair of tongs to choose my own pastries. Yuri follows behind, hesitantly grabbing a tray of her own. Are you getting anything else to eat? I think I'll have a small slice of vanilla cake. By the time we finish grabbing our food, the line's cleared up. Okay, the cashier voice. We're going to assume, I know, how wrong of me to assume a cashier's gender. They are going to be a male, and they're going to talk like this. Hi, would that be all for you? I'll have some oolong tea as well as this brownie. The cashier quickly rings me up, while another worker bustles away in the background to prepare the tea. And your order, miss? Yuri sets her tray down on the counter with a clatter. Her voice is barely audible. Yes, I'll have the oolong tea and a slice of vanilla cake. Excuse me, could you repeat that? I'll have the oolong. Her voice wavers as red creeps up her face, and she glances desperately between me and the cashier. Should I do something? Ooh. Okay. This is our first decision in like what feels like 7 or 8 episodes. Last time we had the option of helping Yuri with carrying the books, and we decided to help her carry, and she got mad at us because she's like, hey, I can do that myself. But this seems different. Man. I mean, if it's like romantic, like on a date and we order for her, then that would be pretty epic. But if we let her order and she like, can't get it out, then that's not epic. But what if she does, are we supposed to learn from our past mistakes and let her order? Dude, no, we are gentlemen. We are activists for women's rights. Equal rights, equal fights. We are ordering for Yuri. I might as well spare her the trouble and just order for her. After all, I know what she wants anyway. She'll have the oolong tea and a slice of vanilla cake. Is that okay with you? Yuri nods her head. All right, we'll have your teas done in just a minute. Just as the cashier said, it only takes about a minute or so until our teas are ready. Yuri avoids eye contact as we pick up our cups of tea. I might have messed up here. With our food in hand, we make our way over to some tables to sit down at. As we walk, she keeps her head ducked down and her eyes steadily trained on the floor. Fuck, I think we messed up. Like last time, we should have learned from our mistakes, but like hindsight 2020, am I right? Like that, I stand by that decision. If we get the bad ending, fuck that, man. I'll be an angry little more copy. Hey, Yuri. Yes? Are you alright? Yeah, I'm fine. It's just that... She starts playing with her hair, stroking it quickly. Don't worry about what happens. If you'd like, when I'm around, I can help you handle all that stuff. That would be nice. Oh yes, we did it. We did it. That was the right decision. I didn't doubt myself for a gosh darn second. She breathes a sigh of relief. Everyone has their own things that they're good at. You're a lot more book smart than me, and I just happen to be more used to talking to people. We balance it out in a way. Yes, I suppose you're right. Thank you. Don't mention it. Nice. Settled down at our table, we finally dig into our respective sweets. The inside of my brownie is moist and thick. The sweetness, not too overwhelming. I look around while savoring my bite, chewing at a slow pace. Although the streets are still dotted with people here and there, the foot traffic has started to lighten up. When I look back at Yuri, I catch her looking at me, her eyes filled with curiosity. Once she realizes that she's been caught staring, she sheepishly turns red in an admission of guilt. I'm sorry, Markapi. I didn't mean to... Relax. It's nothing to apologize for. Embarrassed, she glances away from me. Somehow I get the feeling that she wants to say something, but is too shy to say it. As I muse over Yuri's thoughts, I pop another piece of brownie in my mouth. How's the cake, Yuri?
Oh, it's a bit sweet, but very light. I'm assuming you're enjoying your brownie, judging by the smile on your face.
She covers her mouth with a hand as she giggles. Okay, you caught me. The brownie's really good.
I see.
I shiver as I take a sip of my oolong tea. Man, the sweetness of the brownie really makes the tea that much more bitter. Maybe I shouldn't have ordered it. Yuri sneaks several more looks at me as I continue eating. Does she want something? What's up?
Nothing.
But as she says that, I notice that she's not looking at me exactly. Rather, she's looking at my brownie. Oh, she only wants this for our dark chocolate, fellas. I'm sorry to say. Oh, do you want to try some of my brownie?
It's okay.
Once again, she blushes as she speaks. It's really pretty cute how flustered she can get. Come on, I insist. Before she can protest, I steal her fork and spear a piece of my brownie through it. Here you go. Make sure you eat it while it's still warm.
Thank you, Mercapi. You really didn't have to.
Hey, sharing is caring, right? She giggles a bit as she hesitantly nibbles on the brownie chunk. Man, her eyes are really lighting up. Honestly, I didn't really expect Yuri to have a sweet tooth. Pretty good, huh?
It's very sweet, but the inclusion of dark chocolate cuts through the sweetness a bit.
Time for a drink break, fellas. I advise you to do the same. I'll give you a few seconds. Go ahead, grab your beverage. Alright, you ready? Okay, we're going. We continue enjoying the food and each other's company, slowly passing the day away. After a while, she smiles, tracing the rim of her teacup with a finger.
I've really enjoyed our time here today, Mercapi. This is a lovely little bakery as well. I'll have to revisit it on my own time.
Thanks, Natsuki and Sayori. Thank Natsuki and Sayori for introducing me to this place.
You came here together with them?
Nah, I just happened to see them eating here a while back.
I see.
But yeah, we should definitely come back here again sometime.
Yes, that'd be nice.
With our food finished, we get up and throw away our trash. Hey, you want to catch the bus? I think one should be coming around soon.
That sounds like a good idea.
We settle down on the bus stop's bench, sitting close together, but not too close. I nervously tap my fingers on my knee. Looks like I've run out of things to say. But surprisingly, Yuri saves the day by speaking up.
Today has gone by much faster than I expected. It seems like only an hour ago that I left the house for the bookstore.
She shifts the books in her bag and smiles down at them. I guess that means it was pretty fun then.
I suppose so.
Peering down the road for a moment, I spot a glaring set of headlights slowly growing closer. Hey, looks like the bus is here. It stops with a low hiss, and I motion for Yuri to get on ahead of me. Fortunately, it doesn't look too crowded. There should be plenty of seats for us to sit together.
Kya?
What was that? Suddenly, Yuri stumbles on the steps leading into the bus, falling onto her hands and knees and causing her books to tumble out of her bag. I futilely reach out to grab her, but I'm not close enough to reach her in time. A few people peep around closely to look for the source of the commotion. Yuri quickly stands, her face flushed, as she scrambles to shove the books back in her bag. I reach down to help her. Here, let me help. Are you okay, Yuri?
I'm fine.
With the last of the books back in her bag, we finally enter the bus. That was a speed. Yuri speeds over to the first seat she sees and sits down, keeping her head down as if avoiding the stares from other passengers. She adamantly continues to stare out the window as I slide in the seat after her. You sure you're alright?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Despite her words, I notice a wince breaking through her controlled expression. Yuri, let me see your hands.
Why?
Come on, just humor me for a moment. She reluctantly turns her hands over. They're red from the impact, but don't look particularly hurt. Which means, did you scrape your knee? She's wearing black leggings as usual. Nice. So her knees are covered up, but that material isn't very thick.
Ooh, a little bit.
Do you want me to take a look at it?
No!
Her sudden outburst startles me a bit.
Sorry, I just meant that it's fine. I'll just check it when I get home and bandage it as I needed.
Alright, if you're sure.
Sorry.
What for? She bites her lips and twists her bag's handle around her hands.
For making you worry. You've already done so much for me today, and... Well, I just feel guilty.
Yuri, you have nothing to feel guilty about. Worrying is what friends do, right? And that goes for everything else that happened today, too. As your friends, I like helping you out when I can.
I get it. Thank you, Markapi.
Of course.
This has been so embarrassing.
You've just had an unlucky day today is all. Try not to worry about it too much.
Easier said than done.
Yuri mutters this last statement to herself, probably intending for me to miss it. The conversation fades out after this, leaving us simply watching the scenery blur by outside. Although we're not talking, it just feels right. Just sitting here, together like this. After a while, though, I decide to break the silence. It's nice to physically be with Yuri, but I want to continue getting to know her better, too. By the way, it seems like exams are coming up.
It seems like we've been talking about them more and more lately.
Sorry. We can talk about something else if you want.
No, it's only natural that it'd come up in conversation. After all, we are students.
Yeah, I think I've just been thinking about them more often because I think things will go well for me this time.
What do you mean by that?
Well, I guess you could say that I didn't like to think about them before. They're such a drag, you know? And I'd rather just distract myself than study.
Markapi.
It's fine now, though. I've recently gotten a lot better at concentrating on studying and stuff like that. And I'm pretty sure that reading more has definitely played a role in that. Yuri tilts her head and smiles.
Really? That's wonderful.
Yeah, I'm glad you helped me get into reading. So, thank you for that. My heart rate bumps up a bit as Yuri smiles widely at me. A second later, she seems to catch herself and puts on a more demure expression. Never seen that word.
I mean, I'm just glad that you're enjoying literature now.
She starts playing with her hair, seemingly distracting herself from her own thoughts and feelings.
But I'm surprised that you couldn't concentrate before this.
Huh?
I meant... Never mind.
What is it?
Well, you seem to be able to concentrate on video games and manga just fine. Sorry for being so blunt.
You're fine. I'll have to admit that that's true. But it doesn't count. Concentrating on hobbies is totally different from doing something you dislike.
Ooh, well, that is true.
Speaking of video games and manga, I should probably spend more time studying. Of course, we'll still hang out with the oh my gosh. I don't know why this sentence is so hard. Of course, we'll still... Okay, water break, and then we'll tackle this sentence. Okay. 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Of course, we'll still hang out in the literature club, but... Yuri suddenly sits up, her posture much stiffer than it had been just a second ago.
Sorry, but did I do something wrong?
What? I don't really...
I'm sorry, Markapi. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Ooh, I just did it again. Sorry.
You're totally fine, and you didn't do anything wrong either, so don't apologize for anything. I'm not sure why you think you did, though.
But you just said you didn't want to spend any time together outside of the club anymore.
I sigh quietly. I just meant that we should probably start studying more since exams are coming up. I still definitely want to hang out at school, and after exams are over, I want to do a lot more stuff with you. But I just might not be able to hang out as often until then. So you see, everything's alright. Well, except for the part about taking exams.
I see. I shouldn't have jumped to conclusions so...
Please, don't apologize. It's alright. What matters is we're all good friends. We're all good now, right?
I suppose so. I'm just not used to people being so nice to me. Or to people actually wanting to be around me. Ooh, that was so embarrassing to say.
She looks out the window at the darkening sky, although I can still see her crimson cheeks reflected in the glass. Yuri, I'm not quite sure of what to say, but I definitely know that I feel a crushing wave of sympathy for her. I don't know everything about what you've been through, but I do know that I want to be there for you. So you better get used to people being nice to you. The violet-haired girl turns towards me a bit, allowing a small smile to peek out at me.
Thank you.
As we approach Yuri's stop, we sit in silence again for a bit.
Markapi.
Are you okay? She looks up at me with a deep sadness in her soft eyes.
Can you promise me something?
Of course, what is it?
No matter what happens, will you keep being my friend?
Without a doubt, Yuri. There's no question about it. A smile breaks through her somber expression as her eyes glisten under the bus's fluorescent lights.
Okay. Also, about the topic we're discussing earlier. Well, why don't we study together?
That's actually a really good idea. You can come over to my house after school and we can study together. Well, I don't know how much I can help you, but I'd certainly benefit from your help. Yuri nods and opens her mouth to speak, but pauses when she realizes that the bus is at her stop.
Looks like I'm getting off here then. I'll message you about the details later.
I get up to let her through. Once in the aisle, she steps towards the exit, but then stops to turn back to me.
Goodbye, Markapi. Hope you have a pleasant evening.
See you at school. She smiles and then disappears into the darkness outside. Well, dude, that was a nice little date we had there. And we set up another date, a study date at that. I think that's a great point to end the episode. What do you think? Well, it is kind of nippy here in the November air, so we probably should call it there. Weird, we just had our Halloween episode, and it's already November. Look at that. It's crazy how time works. But I don't believe in time. And for that reason, I'm out. Okay, go ahead, do me 4 favors. Like, comment, subscribe, and as always, please help me find a girlfriend. And bye-bye.